So it's once again time to do a market update, this time for February 2024. Right now, our market here in Knoxville overall is very, very solid. Pay attention to the numbers, look for the trends, and then over the next couple months, by the end of April, we'll have a really good idea of just how hot the market here in Knoxville, Tennessee is going to be for the rest of 2024. So to begin with, we're going to start with days on market. They're just the average number of days that a home is actively listed for sale. At the end of February 24, that number was 40.5. That's up a full 7 days over January of 24. So month over month, we saw a 7-day increase. If we look at year over year and we compare this February of 24 to last February, what we're seeing is about a 4-day increase. So is that an indicator of the market slowing? I don't think so, not being here in the market, but we'll have to watch that trend as we get into spring and see where it leads. So next, let's go to sold price versus original list price. Very simply, if the home was originally listed at $100,000, doesn't matter if they had 3 different price decreases or reductions, what did it sell for versus that original price? At the end of February, that number was 97.5%. If we compare that over last month, it was 96.8%. So month over month, we see a slight increase. If we look at this February over a year ago and last February of 23, we see that number is 96.9. Next, let's look at absorption rate. So what is absorption rate? If no more homes are listed today, we sell all the inventory that's out there actively for sale. How long would it take? That's simply absorption rate. End of February 24, that number was 1.44 months. If we compare that to month over month, it actually decreased. It was 1.67 in January. It dropped down to 1.44 in February. Now let's compare that year over year. February 23, the number was 1.01. So we've seen almost a half a month, a significant rise in the absorption rate from last February to this February, from 1 month basically to 1.5 months or close to that. Let's follow that up with active listings. So how many active listings were on the market, actively listed for sale at the end of February? Well, in February for Knox County, the active listings, there were 823 active residential listings. If we look at that and compare it to January, what we see is that number actually dropped. There were 932 listings at the end of January. It dropped to 823 at the end of February. Now, if we compare that year over year, we do see more because we only had about 678 active listings last year at the end of February. So we have seen an increase since that period of time. Now, let's compare that also, the active listings to new listings. Here's what new listings are how many new homes were listed in a certain month. So in February, we had 658 new listings in February 24. We had 548 new listings in January. If we compare that number to February last year, we do see, once again, a year-over-year increase. 658 this February. It was as low as 494 a year ago. The last number we need to look at is a really important number, and that is the sold median price. Median price means this: 50% of the homes sold above this number and 50% of the homes sold below this number. And in February, what we saw is the median sold price was $381,490 here in Knox County. Now that is down slightly from January, which is $384,900. But if we compare this February to last February, what we see is that the median sold price a year ago was $338,645. So we see a significant increase year over year. Actually, that's 12.65%. So a really significant increase in median sold price. So what do these numbers mean for you, the buyer? They mean that the market here in Knoxville is still very solid. It's still a seller's market. We have more buyer demand than we have homes that are available for sale. And we expect, as more inventory hits the market going into spring, we also expect our buyer demand to significantly increase going into spring. If you're someone who is looking to buy here in Knoxville and you're fortunate enough to be in a position where you can go ahead and do that, in my opinion, you need to go ahead and do that. Pricing is increasing. We're going to see price increases year over year from this year to next year. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I hope this was informative. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that below. And until next time, guys, can't wait to see you around Knoxville soon.